Sports. What a game we have for you here. The first meeting of the year between two of the NFL's most hostile divisional rivals. This matchup always among the most anticipated games of the regular season. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Panthers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, with a beautiful skyline towering just to the right of us, you get a look inside Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season. So
here are the Panthers now for their opening drive, and they'll be led out by the NFL's most valuable player from 2015. It's Cam Newton.
There are a number of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but I have to believe that the prototype in terms of look has to be Cam Newton. That stature and frame, almost breathtaking when you see him in person. And now he's starting to put it all together with consistency in his game, throwing, running, leading.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. On the defensive side of the ball, we get a look at the starters for Tampa Bay. And, Charles, how about Vernon Hargreaves?
A pick they were excited to make because in their division, they've got to have guys who can slow down some of the best receivers in the league. And Vernon Hargreaves fits that profile. Very sharp, very intelligent. He operates well on the corner.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Now already losing.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
On 1st down, Murray. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now 3rd down, less than a yard. They'll run here. It's Murray. Latavius Murray. Touchdown, Carolina. Latavius Murray, his second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Throughout the game, we're going to track so many different statistics, but one is becoming increasingly in vogue: explosive runs of 20 yards or more, and we just saw one right there to open this game.
Now we'll see how the other team responds, because when you get a play like that against you this early in the game, got to feel like your back's against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure now increases on you because your first thought is we have to answer right now.
And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. Gano now following the touchdown, here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
The first carry now for Doug Martin. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. On the tackle that time, Paul Soliai. Here's the offense, and highlighted as a guy who gave himself his own nickname, the Dugginator.
Brandon, you really can't nickname yourself, but if he keeps running at this level, he'll have plenty of good nicknames to choose from.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Backing up. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's third down. And the starting crew defensively for Carolina.
K'Wan Short came out of Purdue as one of the top-rated defensive tackle prospects. Now he's one of the top-rated NFL players.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. On third down, Winston. Complete to Quentin Patton. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Carolina getting set to take the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
All right, partner, keep adding up the yardage. My man is off to a big-time start in this one.
Oh, yeah, you know, when these guys get a first-quarter run like that, they're thinking, all right, now I'm going to get a second, third, and fourth-quarter run like that, correct?
Have you ever seen a guy have a run like that and feel good about himself and then tap out and want to come out of the game?
No.
No, he wants the ball some more, doesn't he?
Yeah. And Olsen over the middle. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
All right, I I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. On second down, here's Newton. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and they're going to have a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
In the red zone this time. They come up in an offset eye. Newton now to throw. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They run with Murray, and he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Latavius Murray, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year, and the Panthers are able to grow their lead. He told us he was going to hit the end zone a couple times in this game. I just don't know that he envisioned doing it in the first quarter.
He probably did. I'm not sure we did, yeah. Right? Because all the great ones, that's what they do. They dream about it, right? They think about it. They envision it. They think it's going to happen and almost will themselves into it. I just look at what he's done so far and just wonder what's left to come. Let's sit back and enjoy this one.
And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at the play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Second down, Winston. Ebron caught left side. 13 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They'll run it. Here's Martin, and he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The 3rd and inches, tried to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
Fielded at the 33. 31 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Carolina Carolina getting set to take the field. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of two play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything is working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make the big play and disrupt things.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's Newton now on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. Handoff. It's Murray. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now Newton on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try to run it in with Murray. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Now the Panthers get set, 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to account for Cam Newton on this play.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that's the first connection, the number 1 overall pick in 2015, finding the number 7 pick in 2014 in Evans.
And what a great target Mike Evans is for Jameis Winston. Winston's a pretty accurate thrower, but that catch radius that Evans provides, that makes him that much more dangerous.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Now Jameis on second down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Coney Ely in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block it.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Panthers will take over at the 20-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
And got his man complete. It's a pickup of 33 yards. And that leads to a Carolina first down. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
On second down, here's Newton. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. To throw is Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Newton now to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Yeah, thank you. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. On 1st and 10, Newton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Murray the lone setback. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And Godot's kick is right through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 2nd down, Winston again. He's got time. Drops it off to Martin. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Again, it's Winston. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down after a good gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. From the red zone now, Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll throw again. Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. Mike Evans in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bucks are able to cut into that deficit.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On first down, it's Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before the break. Newton going up top. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry. And actually, Larry, hold that thought. We're right back to the action. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers defense gearing up as they take the field. They look good in the first half. They'll be looking to carry that momentum over into half number 2.
Finish a game the way you started it. That's typically the message at halftime when things are going well. You've done everything you're expected to do. How about a little bit more of that in the second half? But be aware they may throw something different at you to begin things.
Yeah, 50% of the equation still left to go. He's got a man complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Buccaneers are going to have a first down. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Finding time. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Here's Winston. And he connects with Ebron. Oh, another beautiful move.
Man, that's better than the two-step, isn't it?
A big gain of 38 there on third down.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. 2nd down, Winston. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Quinn Patton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Now a first down throw for Newton. And a quick throw here that's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
This is Murray, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Following the interception, Winston over the middle to Evans. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
One man on the backfield, that's Martin. He's going to get the football. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. They come out here in the I. Winston gives to Martin on the draw. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line, that room to run just not there.
You mentioned last week that it felt like the offensive line was getting beaten to the punch by the guys across the ball.
Well, it was pretty evident, I thought.
I mean, they were off the ball fast, penetrating, getting into the offensive backfield, really spilling a lot of runs before they got started. So I thought your observation was spot on then, and you're right there again this week. Same thing is happening, not able to get started because they're not able to control the point of attack.
Now a second down throw for Winston. Drops it off to Martin. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. His pass caught at the 4. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
Well, they were in the red zone, and they needed a first down. Was it a surprise to you that they went to the tight end?
Not at all. I thought, though, the defense might put a little more pressure on him, but still able to complete it. They'll run forward with Martin. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
Shift together here from the D-line. Winston. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
So quite the turnaround in this one from a week ago. And in the meetings, I made a faux pas of asking, hey, did he tweak something last week? Because we thought he just didn't look the same, but he's fine.
And I was so glad you asked that question. I mean, you had to take the brunt of the whole thing, and, of course, I sold you out on it. But
one for the team.
You knew I was there with you, right? It was a legitimate question, though, because last week, we didn't see what we're seeing today. The quickness to the hole, the ability to make cuts, the good vision. We didn't see any of that. He seemed a little bit sluggish in last week's game. Not so this week. Whatever the preparation was, it's working for him.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
10 yards still left on second down. Back to the air, Newton on second down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Throwing on third down, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to have the football back as the third quarter comes to an end. So it'll be and we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. They'll come out in the pistol. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
One receiver to the left is Evans. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
Murray, the lone setback. On second down, here's Newton. And that'll be incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and it's third and short. Defense has to stand tall here, 3rd and 1. Now a give. This is Murray. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's a pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows that.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Gerald McCoy in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Newton now on second down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time, the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. On second down, Martin. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Going again. Winston on 2nd and 10. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And that'll make it 3rd down. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Winston. Surveying the field. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return, and the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. He's going to air one out, and he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that play was what every defense is wary of. The big strike attempted downfield, but they were in excellent position. They didn't get fooled, and while he didn't come up with the interception, was able to bat the ball down.
On 2nd and 10, Newton looking for his running back, and he's got him. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Again, Newton. It's caught. Nelson. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, We see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Rashad Perriman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. He's been a frequent target, and with catches like that, one-handed in the end zone, I keep going his way.
And he's doing it every which way, isn't he? 2 hands, and in this case, we just saw it with 1 hand. Almost reminds me of a great return of service guy in tennis. No matter how you whack it at him, it comes back at you. In this case, he just envelops it and brings it in.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Cam looking to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They'll run. Martin. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Goes underneath to Martin. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. Third and goal, Winston. He's got time in the pocket. And that is incomplete. He was looking there for Ruben Randall. And 4th down coming up. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And it's a fake. He's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Well, there's 2 sides here. I guess you could pinpoint and look at the offense and say, oh, man, what a disaster. Hey, the defense, though, they came through.
Preparation's the key to everything, and when you're on the defensive side of the ball and in special teams meetings, you prepare for plays like this, and in this case, they were actually able to win it.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. On first down, it's Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to the air, Newton on second down. And it's incomplete. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect better.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. They'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just dropped to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so.
The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They run again on first down. Martin. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage.
Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Winston goes ahead, takes the knee, and that should be all she wrote. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And now we've got whistles. I think we had a defender too eager to go for the block.
Encroachment, defense. Still 4th down.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They come out here in the eye. They'll run for it. Martin. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points. They were